All right, everybody. Welcome back to the Ask Trainer Jeff show. This is episode number 3. In today's episode, we're going to be discussing bodyweight exercises, lunchtime routines, cardio, and meal prepping. So why don't we get started? First question comes from Laura. I have huge arms. What kind of exercises can I do to make them smaller without adding bulk? First of all, Laura, it's hard for women to add bulk just because you guys don't have enough testosterone in your body to build the bigger muscles. So don't be afraid of using weights or things of that nature because your body's not going to bulk up like a guy's would. So keeping that in mind, you want to do reps somewhere between 15 and 25 reps per set, and do bodyweight exercises would be a great way to get started. So things that you can do for that would be you can go with push-ups, so hands down on your knees, going down and up for a push-up. If more advanced, go on your toes, down and up for a push-up. You can do things like dips, so if you flip over, you can go down and up, dips this way. Twisting T's are always great, and that's going to lock in your shoulders, your triceps, your core, and your chest. So if you're in a push-up position, you do a twist, open, go back down, push-up. Twist, open, go back down, push up. If you have weights available to you, you can do dumbbell curls, you can go shoulder press, alternating, you can go kickbacks this way. All these motions are going to be using the muscles in your arms to give you that more defined, leaner look without that bulky look that you're not looking for. All right, question number 2 comes from Heather. Is cardio good to do before or after exercise? Well, Heather, depending on what your goal is, cardio can be very effective. So if you're training for a triathlon, marathon, some sort of endurance sport, you're going to want to do cardio beforehand. If your goal is to do more strength, lean down, lose weight, things of that nature, it's mostly beneficial to go after and do your strength training before. My personal preference is I do a little bit of a warm-up, 5 to 8 minutes, just to get the body warmed up. I go and do my strength routine, and then I do a little cool down cardio for about another 10 to 15 minutes following. But remember, cardio is just about raising your heart rate and lowering it back down again. So cardio doesn't have to be 2 hours on a treadmill, elliptical, things of that nature. If you're incorporating your workouts to be more higher intensity so your heart rate is raised up, and the quicker it goes back down, that's what cardio is all about. So keep that in mind on what your goal is. But again, if you're doing endurance, do cardio before. If you're doing strength or muscle tone or lose weight, you can go either way, but do cardio afterwards to be safe. All right, the next question comes from Jane. What can I do at work for 15 minutes during my lunchtime? Well, Jane, use that 15 minutes as your nemesis. So like set a timer on your desk, and I like to do a numbered routine like 5, 10, 15, 20. So for you, a perfect example would be to do 5 push-ups against your desk or chair or on the floor or whatever. Then go into 10 body weight lunges, then go 15 maybe body weight squats, and then go 20 crunches or 20-second wall sit or something like that. Something you can get 20 of that you can repeat at a fast pace. And then repeat that whole process, 5, 10, 15, 20, and see how many rounds you can do in that 15 minutes. So pretend like you're that fighter mentality that you want to bust it out, get lean, move yourself for 15 minutes. And I like to do the breakdown of the 5, 10, 15, 20. As you progress, you might get bored with those exercises, so switch up the push-ups for dips, switch the body weight lunges for side-to-side lunges, switch the squats for calf raises or things of that nature. Crunches could be leg lifts or a plank or something like that. I'm assuming you're doing it at work, so you might not have equipment available, so those would be my best suggestions to keep it going, but use that clock as your friend and use it to push you to get that most out of those 15 minutes. All right, the next question comes from Serena. Is meal prepping beneficial? Well, meal prepping is basically the key to any successful healthy lifestyle. So you got to remember, people eat out at fast food, go out to dinner, things of that nature for convenience because they don't want to cook at home or don't have time. So if you're more prepping your meals and you make it as convenient as possible, you don't have that excuse anymore. So what I do is I make extra food at my dinner to be able to bring to lunch the next day at work. I also make other meals in the morning because that's when I have time to do it, to get my snacks, my nuts, my protein shake, my wraps, whatever I'm gonna have throughout the day, I do in the morning, but that big meal at lunch is already carryover from last night's dinner. So I don't even have to worry about it. I don't have to go out to lunch with friends and things of that nature. I can stick to my plan, stay healthy, you have a six-pack all year round, look good, all because you're consistent and convenient. So yes, meal prepping is pretty much the number one thing if you want to maintain success and not just do a yo-yo diet, lose weight, gain weight, all that kind of jazz. All right, last question comes from Sean. What is a good example of a meal to gain weight? Well, Sean, anyone trying to gain weight needs to realize or figure out their basal metabolic rate. That's BMR. So just Google that. There'll be plenty of websites to find out what your BMR is. And then there'll be other parts of it that'll tell you how many calories per day you need to eat to gain or lose weight. So if you have an active lifestyle and let's say your BMR is 1500 and you have an active lifestyle, so you burn like 2,000 calories a day. As long as you're eating more than those 2,000 calories, you're gonna start to gain weight over time. It takes 3,500 calories to gain weight. So if you're eating 2,500 calories and you're burning 2, that leaves you with 500 surplus. 7 days, that's a pound a week that you're gaining of real mass, not just straight fat, straight water weight, things of that nature. So if you really want to gain weight, find out what your BMR is, find out how many calories it's going to take to get above that, and then plan out your day to be eating more calories so you can maintain that weight gain. For me, I was a slender guy. I'm 6'2", about 184 pounds right now. It took me a year to gain 15 pounds of weight, muscle, and look the way I wanted to do. So it's not going to come overnight. A little trick is to wake up in the middle of the night and have a peanut butter and jelly sandwich or something like that to keep the calories up, have a nice protein, some good fats. Olive oil, avocados, nuts, those are all good fats that you want to have in your diet, but also have a lot of calories. So make sure you're doing it smart. You don't want to just be a big puffball of sugar and weight gainer process and all that jazz. So check your BMR and find out what your calories are, because once you know that number, once you get above it, that's when you start gaining weight. All right, guys, that's it for this episode. Thank you for tuning in. We'll have another episode next week, so send me your questions and I'll answer them. Have a good day.